Very close. Very
Don't know
close.
whether that went or not.
Exactly.
But this is the gentleman in live news, breaking news that's just coming in. Tim Seifert, the Kiwi batsman, has tested positive for the coronavirus, which puts the Delhi versus Punjab game, which was anyway shifted from Pune to Brabant Stadium, now in doubt. He's now the second player after Mitchell Marsh in the Delhi camp to test positive, and overall the fifth person.
Sixth, in fact.
Sixth, because doctor.
Yes.
So there's Tim Seifert, Mitchell Marsh, there's Patrick Farhat, the doctor. Then social media.
Yes, and one more person from the support staff. So Tim Seifert, you would also remember that last year also, in fact, when he was playing for Kolkata Knight Riders, at that time also he had tested positive. So it's
double whammy.
Twice in as many years. In fact,
it's not a case of once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah,
it's twice bitten now. Twice
and he would also be, Tim Seifert would also be cursing his luck because last time you would remember he was crying after he had tested positive. But the bigger question now is the match between Punjab Kings and Delhi Capitals going to happen today? As per the schedule, as Nikhil just mentioned, the match was moved from Pune to Brabant Stadium in Mumbai. Now there are serious doubts on that match, although the BCCI or the IPL guidelines will allow a match to happen in case one particular franchisee has at least 12 players available to field.
Yeah.
Now,
so that's what I was saying. Now, if they have tested positive, now the teams will have to go for a retesting, or that test would have come out. And if the rest of them are assuming negative at the moment, but see, the problem is what happens is sometimes the virus is in your body. It takes time.
Period.
Yes, it takes time to manifest and the test to come positive. Now, because Seifert practiced with these same players yesterday,
right,
there is a possibility more cases might come. Now the risk is if you allow these players, even if you have 12 available players, to go and play a match with another team, that might spread to the other team.
Exactly, and Nikhil, you would remember this very clearly. In fact, last time when the first set of cases happened, that was from Kolkata Knight Riders, when Sandeep Warrier and Varun Chakravarti, these were the two names that we got to know that they had tested positive. This was on the day of the match against Royal Challengers Bangalore, and as we know, at that point in time, RCB had insisted that they don't want to play a match against Kolkata Knight Riders.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying today, what if Punjab, those players, they have apprehensions playing against Delhi Capitals, because that also put them at risk, just like the other players from Delhi Capitals. So the guidelines on one side, because we've seen this in European football leagues, in fact in EPL, if I'm not mistaken, that
there are many cases.
Even if one person has tested positive, the match goes ahead. But I think
the only problem here is because he practiced with the rest of the players yesterday, and what if they are carrying the virus and it only manifests a little later?
Exactly.
Now you're exposed to the other team.
And it's happening one after the other.
Yeah.
First name that we got to know was Patrick Farhat, and alongside him, although his name was not revealed, one of the members from their support staff had also tested positive. Next day we get to know that Mitchell Marsh and along with a few more had tested positive. Now today, I think around 3 or 4 days later, we get to know that Tim Seifert has also tested positive. Remember, Mitchell Marsh was advised to be hospitalized. Even though what we were told was that he has mild symptoms, still on the advice of the medical team, he was taken to the hospital where he is in isolation. But this also put a lot of people and players at risk if you go ahead with the match today. So I have my doubts whether the match will go ahead or not.
My point is, again, I'm just trying to understand what would be BCCI's thought process when they decided 12 players available, because in situation where now, as we can find out, people are testing positive, even if 12 are available, not only in this situation, can you ever have matches going forward? Because as we are realizing now, that tests actually come a day later, 2 days later. In this case, it's happened over a period of 3 to 4 days.
And And by the way, this
So
is
how will you
also a
play?
rapid antigen test, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, whatever. Then they'll have RT-PCR. Then
Exactly.
that first RT-PCR for Mitch Marsh came negative. The next one came positive. So I'm saying when these things start happening, I don't know how you can have any game, because for you to fully understand the scope of how much the virus is spread in a team takes you about 4-5 days for definite
Exactly.
tests to come. And if 4-5 days is you're going to spend on each team and postpone the matches, that will put the entire situation or the scheduling completely out of whack. I don't know if it's possible there.
You know what was worrying for me the day Patrick Farhat tested positive, because he's a physio, and also, if I'm not wrong, they also had their team masseur who had also tested positive. So you can very well imagine the kind of heat that these players are playing in this IPL. You would every day you would need a masseur, you would need a team doctor or a physio. So they must have came in contact with each and almost every player who actually was playing.
Yep.
So that puts virtually everyone at risk.
So the latest update at the moment, as we said, Tim Seifert is the second player and the sixth in the camp of Delhi Capitals to have tested positive. That game was moved to Brabant, was to happen today. We'll keep coming back in terms of latest updates in case we get to know the game has been pushed back. But as of now, as we've discussed, it seems unlikely that the game will go forward, because as you go on, maybe more and more tests then reveal, as it's happened with Delhi Capitals over a period of 4-5 days, you have discovered all tests haven't come positive together. Over a period of 4-5 days, the number has gone to 6. So to safeguard the IPL, the best decision would be not to have a match, because then you can pass on the virus to the other team.
Exactly.
And then it can spread. So anyway, we'll give you the latest update. That was the breaking news on Sports Today. At the moment, as soon as we have a definite update about whether the match is happening or not, we'll be live back again. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.